Hey guys, what is going on? We are back and we are taking a look today at the top 5 best guns in Vanguard. This is pretty early on to be making a little bit of a video like this, but there are some absolutely fantastic weapons in the game that I think definitely stand out, and I'm sure you know what they are at the moment as well. But because of the very fast time to kill in this game and some of the absolutely broken attachments, this list probably could have been like 10 guns, 12 guns long. There's a lot of great weapons in this game, but just before we do get into our top 5 here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it really does help me out. And while you're there as well, if you could hit that like button too, that really does help get these videos to as many eyes as possible, as well as help cut through the YouTube algorithm, which is absolutely massive these days. So let's take a look here at, in my opinion, the top 5 best guns in Vanguard here. So some of you may know from the channel in the previous days of Modern Warfare that I'm a little bit of a shotgun guy. So when I saw that the combat shotgun was absolutely broken, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Some of the shotguns in this game as well, like your Gracie Autos and even the revolving one, they're very good as well. I think at the moment though, the combat shotgun does take the cake here. Your secondary in this particular class setup can really be whatever you do prefer. In the perks across the board here, we are going to take Ninja, Forward Intel, and Lightweight or Scavenger, depending on how you do want to play. In the lethal slot, you can pick and choose whatever you do prefer in this slot. This one is up to you. And then in the tactical, we usually run with the stim shot because getting that extra chance per life is very, very important for going on those longer streaks. Our attachments with the combat shotgun are very, very simple here, and you've probably seen this class set up on the channel recently. We did feature this very, very recently as well. So the M97 full choke does increase our tighter pellet spread, meaning the pellets when we do fire them are actually very, very close together here. Game's not loading in properly, so you don't actually, oh, there it is. So the full choke is a very nice attachment to start off with. We move to the sawed-off barrel here. This does give us a wider pellet spread, a faster movement speed, and an increase to our damage. But you also can take the Framble number 3 barrel for hipfire accuracy, recoil recovery, and hipfire recoil recovery, which is a nice little boost as well. Then we move to an optic here. We're just goofing around with this thing. The M38 Slate 2.5 Custom does give us a +2 to our recoil control as +2 to accuracy, which I think is a little bit of a boost. I've seen a lot of people sprinting around everywhere on Dust House with this particular sidearm, so that's kind of interesting. In the stock slot, we do have the CGC3M adjustable stock, which does give us that hip fire accuracy of +2, aim walking movement speed, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed. But the wire custom is also a good option as well for aim down sight speed, movement speed, and hip fire accuracy, so you can pick and choose here. Moving on, we do have the SMLE pistol grip for sprint to fire speed and hip fire accuracy, a very simple attachment here to get us moving around the map a little bit more quickly, get those sights up when we are sprinting around. Then we do have the 16 gauge 10 round drums for the most amount of shells to fire with this thing, but you can take the 5 round tube in the 12 gauge just to give you a little bit more damage range as well, which is kind of goofy. Then the most important attachment here is the buck and slug, which does give us a shotgun slug in our ammo, as well as keeping our pellets and the regular buckshot in this thing, which is actually broken. Like, that's so strong. Just being able to get one that does super lots of damage, as well as still getting that like birdshot style pattern, is very, very important for this game. In the rear grip, we are going for that pine tar grip to give us a +1 to our hipfire accuracy, a nice little boost to our recoil control as well, but we're really only after hipfire accuracy here. And then we do have vital, or you can take momentum, or you can take frenzy or sleight of hand. There's a lot of good options in this one. We do take vital just to mean we do the most damage when we do hit a crit, which is of course upper torso as well with this thing, which when you are using a shotgun happens quite often. And then in the kit, you can take fully loaded, or you can take quick, or you can take it really doesn't matter too much, but those are the two that I would go with here. Moving on to another weapon that is absolutely famous in this game at the moment, man. The MP40 is still one of the best weapons in the game, earliest unlock that you can go with in the SMG category, and that is why everybody has just gone, yep, that's one of the best guns in the game. Does kill slightly slower compared to some of the other SMGs and other assault rifles on this list, but I mean, it is still a ridiculously accurate weapon. You can battle people at medium distances, which is pretty important for an SMG. Just good damage range is a great stat here. Again, the rest of the class setup is pretty similar to how we have presented previously. Whatever secondary, the same perks that we mentioned before, your preferred lethal, and then the stim shot. Our attachments, again, you've probably seen this class setup as well running around. The M1929 silencer for 1 to our sound suppression, meaning we do not appear on the radar when we are firing this thing, as well as +1 to our accuracy, which reduces our horizontal recoil, as well as reducing that weapon bloom, which does occur in this game, which is a little weird. Then the Krausnik 317mm04B barrel, which does make our gun highly accurate and controllable, which basically just means we get reduced horizontal recoil control by 40%, which is massive here. Then we have an optic. Again, this is a pick and choose option. You really just want a nice clear sight picture, with the iron sights actually do provide as well, but your MK3 reflector or your NIDAR Model 47, whatever you prefer in this slot. In the stock slot, we can go with one of two options in my opinion, that being the Krausnik 33M folding for sprint to fire speed and movement speed. Getting us around the map more quickly is very, very important for an SMG. Or you can take something like a VDD-34M padded for recoil control accuracy, flinch resistance, and recoil recovery. This is the one that I usually go with, but if you like to be more aggressive, take the Krausnik folding one. In the underbarrel slot, we're going for the M1930 strafe angled for +2 to our accuracy, which as we mentioned is horizontal recoil control as well as reducing that weapon bloom. Then we do have the magazine. You've got one of two choices here. If you are playing on those larger game modes, you probably want to go with that 64 round mag. This does reduce your TTK though, but you're going to have more bullets to fire at people, so this is up to you. If you are getting into more one-on-one gunfights, probably the 32 round mags are going to be your option for giving you the most amount of damage here, which is a really nice boost. Then your ammo type, you probably want to go with that lengthened for just that increase to our bullet velocity of 30%, which is a really nice boost. Or you can actually take Hollow Point, which does give us that limb damage, which I have seen is a very good option as well. In the rear grip slot, we've got that Groove Grip, which is again +2 to our accuracy, but again, there is a lot of options that you can go with here, including that Polymer Grip for that flinch resistance, or you can go with something simple like an aim down sight grip in the leather grip. Proficiency, we do have Brace here for +1 to our initial accuracy and recoil, just to give us a little bit of easier time getting on target. And then in the kit, you can again go with fully loaded or you can go with quick here. Then we have the Type 100, which I think is a very, very interesting weapon in this game. I've seen that this thing does have a ridiculously fast TTK, as well as that combination of, I believe, the ammo conversion and then something like the Vital perk makes this really goofy. So I think the TTK with this thing is absolutely ridiculous. So again, the secondary weapon here, again, whatever you pick and choose, same perks as we did present previously. You can take Scavenger as well instead of Lightweight. Lethal, again, personal preference, and then in the tactical slot, you always want to run that stim shot for those longer streaks. So again, your Type 100, a very, very good SMG in this game, but there is one coming up that I'm still scratching my head over why they made this decision, but again, we'll talk about it in a second. But again, we want to start off with that M1929 silencer for that sound suppression and again, that accuracy, reducing that weapon bloom as well as that horizontal recoil control. In the optic slot, again, we do just want to go with that lovely MK3 reflector, or again, your preferred optic, whether that be like the Iron Sights, the Slate reflector, or the Night R Model 47. In the stock slot, we go with the Shiraishi T100. Some of these names, man. Horizontal recoil control of +3 is an absolutely massive boost. 10% increase, meaning we can stay on target very easily with this thing, as well as a nice little chunk of our aim down sight speed increase as well. Then we have the Vital perk. Of course, you want to run this thing just to get a larger area for those crits, which increases that crit zone from the head to the upper torso, which is very, very nice here. Then in the kit, again, you take fully loaded or you take quick. This is again up to you. And then in the rear grip slot, we're taking that Polymer Grip for a +2 increase to our flinch resistance, meaning when we are getting into gunfights, we take some shots. Our shots are going to be a little bit more on target. But again, you can take this regular stuff as the leather grip for aim down sight speed, or what we have presented in the other guns previously. In the magazine, you definitely want to go with the Russian short 30 round mag for a +2 to our damage, giving us a 40 damage per bullet, a decent amount of damage range as well, and a nice amount of bullet velocity here. Then moving on, we do have the ammo type. We can go with lengthen for, again, that bullet velocity increase, or again, you can take hollow point if you do want to get those limb shots doing the most amount of damage possible. And then we finish this off with the M1914 hand stop for a +1 to our recoil control and a +1 to our accuracy here, which is a very nice combination there. Now again, we are going to run through the STG-44 very, very quickly here because you can still get like a goofy amount of TTK. Again, the rest of the class setup is the same as we have presented previously. Whatever pistol, same perks that we mentioned earlier. The lethal is up to you, and of course we want that stim shot. So again, the attachments on this thing that we have chosen previously are the MX silencer for that accuracy increase as well as that sound suppression, the VDD 760mm05B barrel, of course, for the increase to our horizontal recoil control as well as giving us a nice boost to our damage range. 48% horizontal recoil control is ridiculous here. Then the optic, again, pick and choose whatever you prefer out of the Night R Model 47. Then, of course, where is it? The Slate Reflector, and then, of course, the MK3. Then the VDD 27 Precision for the horizontal recoil control, and, of course, the +1 to our aim down sight speed. Then the Vital perk, of course, to give you that larger crit zone. You go for fully loaded in the kit slot just to give us the most amount of starting ammo here. Rear grip, we just have a leather grip for +1 to our aim down sight speed, but again, we can take the one that does increase our flinch resistance as well, and that is a great option too. Then in the magazine, you want to take that damage increasing one. Of course, this does give us a nice amount of damage here, meaning we can get very, very fast kills with this thing. As well as when we do get some headshots and body shots like upper torso, we are absolutely chunking people here. And then, of course, you want that lengthened as well for the bullet velocity increase of +3, which is a 30% increase, meaning we are absolutely lightning fast in terms of that hit detection. And then we do have the M3 ready grip here for aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and aim walking movement speed here. This thing is an absolute laser beam, and I'm sure you know this thing is good already. And the last one that we do have here today is, of course, the Owen gun. Now, this thing, whenever I look at the stats on it with this particular class setup, I just go, that can't be right. 50 damage per 2-shot kill? No, something's not right here. But I mean, this thing's goofy. Once you unlock all the attachments for this thing, you get this going. It is absolutely goofy here. I mean, ridiculous weapon. So again, we do start off with that M1929 silencer for a +1 to our accuracy, as well as that sound suppression, meaning we do not appear on the minimap. Then we take the Hawkinson 305mm precision barrel for a highly accurate and controllable weapon, which means we do get that horizontal recoil control, that headshot damage, and of course that aim down sight speed increase is massive here. You can take a look at this thing, you see the damage number and you're like 50 at 499 RPM is like 160 milliseconds with a TTK, I think off the top of my head is just... Then again, we do have the MK3 reflector here, or your preferred optic of your choosing, whether that be the Night Arm Model 47 or the Slate reflector. This is up to you. The stock, there's not really a fantastic option among these. Like, it's kinda just a bit messy all over the board. Like, the Gawain H4 folding does actually make us very, very accurate with this weapon. But again, it does reduce our movement speed and our aim down sight speed quite significantly here. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. I don't think normally you would pick one of these, but this is up to you as well. Then we do have Brace for just giving us that initial recoil control and accuracy. Then, of course, we do take Quick or Fully Loaded. Again, this is another one that is up to you. We've got the Polymer Grip, again, for that +2 to our flinch resistance. When we do get into a gunfight, we get shot. We are staying on target here. And then, as we mentioned, that 8mm Kerr 60-round drum does give us that 50 damage per bullet, which is just like... Is that right? Like, two-shot kill on an SMG? And then we finish this off with that hollow point as well for increasing that limb damage, meaning we're getting a 2-shot kill regardless of where you hit somebody, I believe, which is just goofy, man. Oh, and then we finish this off with the Carver Grip as well for +2 to our recoil control and +1 to our hipfire accuracy. This is the same as the old Merc foregrip from previous games, which is a really nice increase here. I would also want to say a special shout out to the Automaton as well for being a very, very good weapon in this game. Highly accurate, high damaging weapon with some of the later unlock attachments. It is a little bit of a shame that we don't have a weapon blueprint for this thing yet for some of those later unlocks, so you do have to go through the actual grind of leveling up this thing, but it is still a very, very highly accurate weapon and a great one in this game once you get those later unlocks. So that is going to wrap us up here for my top 5 best guns in the game. If you felt like I missed something, like if you think that the Gracie Auto Shotgun is better than the Combat Shotgun, make sure you leave a comment letting me know. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do want to stay up to date with all of the Vanguard content. We're going to be absolutely pumping out videos this year, man, on Vanguard. I'm having such a fantastic time with this game, and I hope you guys are too. And if you did enjoy this one and it did help you out, make sure you hit that like button as well, because that really does help me out, get those videos to as many eyes as possible, as well as cutting through the YouTube algorithm, which is absolutely massive these days. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!